In this video, I'll be talking about how to factor fourth degree polynomials or quartics. And this doesn't apply for all quartics, just like factoring doesn't apply to all quadratics. We are going to start off by looking at x to the power of 4 plus x cubed minus 7x squared minus x plus 6 is equal to 0. So here we are just going to start off by trying to see if we could split this into two different quadratic factors. So we have x squared and x squared, since we want these two to multiply to x to the power of 4. And we want to find a and b. And we want to find numbers that multiply to 6, which those numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 6. And only two combinations work. 2 times 3 and 1 times 6. But also negative 1 and negative 6 work. So we're going to see which we could get. So we're just going to start off with negative 1 and negative 6. Since this is negative, we're just going to use the negative products first. So what we will go ahead and do now is multiply x squared and ax, giving us ax cubed, and we're going to multiply x squared and bx, giving us bx squared, and ax cubed and bx cubed should add up to 1x cubed. So we're going to have a plus b is equal to 1. And we're going to multiply ax and bx with negative 1, giving us negative bx and negative 6ax, and it should add up to negative 1. So we're going to have negative 6a minus b is equal to negative 1. And we're going to go ahead and use Kramer's rule to solve the system of equations. So we will have our matrix of 1, 1, negative 6, and negative 1, which is going to give us negative 1 plus 6, which will give us 5. So that's our determinant. And our answer column is 1 and negative 1. And we're going to find a. So here we have 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1. So we have negative 1 plus 1, which is equal to 0. So we get a is equal to 0, since 0 divided by 5 is 0. And m of b is 1, negative 6, 1, and negative 1. So here now we have negative 1 plus 6, which is just positive 5, which gives us b is equal to 5. Since, well, b was not 5, it's 1, since we had 5 over 5 equals 1. Equals 5. So we have b is equal to 1, since 5 over 5 is 1. So let's go ahead and see if our equation is true. So since a is 0, we just get 1 equals 1 and negative 1 equals negative 1, so that's true. So we just write a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 1. So now we want to see if it adds up to negative 7x squared. So we multiply a and b, and we get 0x squared. Now you multiply x squared times 6x, or 6, giving us negative 6x squared. And x squared times negative 1, and that gives us negative x squared, which will give us negative 7x squared, which gives us our x squared in the equation. And we see that 0x cubed plus x cubed gives 1x cubed. So it's looking good so far. And here we're going to have to add up bx and 6ax. So we have negative 6 times 0, a, or not a, x, minus 1x, which this just becomes 0, giving us negative x. So we get our quadratic factors to be x squared minus 1 times x squared plus x minus 6. We're going to look at another example, which is x to the power of 4 plus 6x cubed plus 11x squared plus 16x minus 10. So we have 11x, 6x, and 16x. So we're going to have to make our two quadratic factors. And we want to find the two numbers that would give us our two quadratic factors. So here we have negative 2 and negative 5, or 2 times negative 5 and negative 2 times 5. So we're going to try negative 2 times 5. And we're going to multiply x squared times ax, giving us ax cubed, and x squared times bx, giving us bx cubed. And we do the same thing on the right side, giving us negative 2bx and 5ax. So we have our system of equations. A plus b is equal to 6, and 5a minus 2b is equal to 16. And we could find numbers rather quickly by just looking at a and b. So let's guess 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, and 5 times 4 minus 2 times 2 is equal to 20 minus 4 is equal to 16. So we just got our solutions already without having to solve it. We just guessed a quick answer where a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 6. So let's go ahead and multiply a and b together, and that gives us 24x squared. So oh no, b is not 2, it was, or 6, it is 2, since So let's write our system of equations then, where we have a plus b is equal to 6, and 5a minus 2b is equal to 16. And we could guess and check here, but we could just automatically see that 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, and 5 times 4 minus 2 times 2 is 20 minus 4, which is 16. So we already found a and b, where a is 4 and b is 2. So now we can go ahead and multiply ax and bx, giving us 8x squared, and multiplying x squared times negative 2, giving us negative 2x squared, and plus 5x squared. So here we have 8x squared plus 3x squared, which is equal to 11x squared, giving us our 11x squared. So we get that our two factors are x squared plus 4x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 5. And here we can go ahead and solve the quadratics, where we have x is equal to minus 4 plus or minus root 16 plus 8, 24 over 2. I'm just going to leave our solution like this, and we're going to look at the other two. So we have x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus root 4 minus 20, which is negative 16, and the square root of negative 16 is 4i. So we have 4i over 2, which is negative 1 plus or minus 2i. So those are our two solutions for our quartic, and we have our solutions, and it was factorable into two different quadratic factors. So we're just going to look at one more example. So we're going to have x to the power of 4 plus x cubed minus 2x squared minus 16x plus 16 is equal to 0. We're going to go ahead and multiply, or have x squared and x squared, so that it makes x to the power of 4. And we're going to have a, x, and bx, and we're going to have 2 times 8. So here we are going to have bx cubed and ax cubed, and 8ax and 2bx. So here we have a plus b is equal to 1, and 8a plus 2b is equal to negative 16. So we want to find 1 and negative 16 in our system of equations here, where we have a plus b equals 1 and 8a plus 2b equals negative 16. And here it's not so easy for us to guess and check, so we can go ahead and use Kramer's rule again. So here we are going to have our matrix determinant of 1, 1, 8, 2, which is going to give us 2 minus 8, which gives us negative 6. So now our answer column is 1 and negative 16. And we're just going to find A and B now. M of A is 1, negative 16, and 1, 2, where we get 2 plus 16 is 18. And now we go ahead and find B, which is M of B, which is equal to 1, 8, 1, negative 16, where we have negative 16 minus 8, and that equals negative 24. So we get A is equal to negative 3, and B is equal to 4, since 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 3 is 18. So now we have our A and B values. So we're going to just erase this. So we have A is equal to negative 3, and B is equal to 4. So now we're going to go ahead and multiply negative 3 and 4, giving us negative 12x squared plus 2x squared plus 8x squared. Here we just add 2x squared plus 8x squared, giving us 10x squared, and this gives us negative 2x squared, which gives us our value in the quartic we had. So we see that we indeed are going to have a factor of 2 quadratics, and our factors are x squared minus 3x plus 2 times x squared plus 4x plus 8. And here we could reduce this to be x minus 1 times x minus 2, where we have x is equal to 1 and 2. And here we are going to have x is equal to negative 4 plus or minus root 16 minus 32 over 2, which is the same thing as 4i over 2. And if we just divide the whole equation by 2, we're going to get negative 2 plus 2i, which is the other two solutions to our quartic. And here we can go ahead and plug in 1 into our equation, and we should get that it is equal to 0. So we have 1 plus 1 minus 2 minus 16 plus 16, and these two cancel out, and 2 minus 2 basically gives 0. So that indeed tells us that we have a solution of x equals 1. Now let's plug in x equals 2. So we have 16 plus 8 minus 8 minus 32 plus 16. So here we are going to see that 8 minus 8 cancel out, and 32 minus 32 is basically going to cross out, giving us 0, since 16 plus 16 is 32, and 32 minus 32 is equal to 0. So we have that one of our quadratic factors contains two solutions to our quartic, and we're just going to verify negative 2 plus 2i by just plugging it in into our quadratic instead of our quartic, since that would be a long process. So here we have, let's just make some space here. So now we're going to go ahead and plug it into our quadratic. Negative 2 plus 2i squared, which is 4 minus 8i minus 4. And 4 times negative 2 plus 2i is negative 8 plus 8i and plus 8. Here we have this cancels out, and 8i and negative 8i cancel out, giving 0. So this gives us that our two quadratic factors, that our solutions are true. And yeah, those are solutions, and these are our two quadratic factors. And that is going to be that for this video, and thank you for watching.